everyone. Happy Tuesday. My name is Letitia Jones, and this is Tea Talk. I hope everyone had a great week this week. I hope it was filled with joy and just blessings. And we are here to say we made it, right? We made it another week. Um, so today I wanna talk, about love. I just feel like right now, when everything that was going on in the last 2 years, and now, and just life itself, this is a special topic that is critical to everyone's life. Um, even in the Bible, it tells each other to love each other deeply, um, in any type of relationships. And I know love is in the world that we living in now. With a lot of stuff going on, it can be hard. It can be easy to love those that um, that we can visually see that loves us, but that's the easy part. To visually love people that love us, or we see that love us, or sharing love, or that's giving love. But what about going over and beyond for situations that most people would not want to give love in that situation? Like, I know I have. I've been through situations to where I should have loved back. And instead, because it was a situation that someone did something to me, I took it in my own, hands, my own matter, which spiritually, you guys, we're not supposed to take things in our own hands as well. God is the person that does the punishing, not us. But I remember times when um, me love somebody back. I'm talking about a situation to where I should have loved because someone did me wrong here, right? And instead, I'm thinking I got to get them back. I got to get them back. Here I am. I care so much. And I'm sharing this, because this is everyday life thing. And anyone that's listening, the lines are open. Call in at 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Come on, y'all. Talk to me. Let's be real. Let's talk about the times that we should love. But let's also be real about times that, when we're not loving. Like I was saying, I've been that person that somebody do something to me, and it can be the smallest thing, the smallest thing to hurt me or tear me down. And because I know that in my heart I wanted to love that person. Love come in many forms. A listening ear, gifts, words. It come in many forms. So it didn't matter if it was 5% or whatever those many forms that someone hurt me. I was ready to get them back, and I did. You know, um, Jesus. And doing it, I thought that I was gonna win. I thought I was gonna win the fight. I thought, oh, I did something right because they deserve that. But that's not how it works, you guys. You guys call in. Let's talk. We're talking about love today. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. But as I was saying, um, by getting back at the person that hurt me, I just knew I was winning. I knew that they deserved what they did because they hurt me. Um, Thinking I'm gonna feel better after I do it. Um, but instead, I felt worse, you guys. I felt worse, because the spirit, the Holy Spirit convicted me. it's not my place. It's not our place, you guys. Okay, hello. We have a caller coming in. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. Toya with the T on the line.
Hey, Toya, how are you doing this Tuesday, girl?
I am great, Queen. How are you? My foot is kind of bad.
Okay, what's going
Where
on?
you are, but I'm just calling in to show my support.
I thank you. I appreciate it, girl. We just here. We talking about love today, and everything that's going on. We just, we got to learn how to love one another. It says it in the word. So, I'm just here trying to help someone if I can.
Amen. You said look,
Yes, ma'am. Love, love. Yes, ma'am.
oh man. Well, you know what? I got some good things to say about love. Love brings you back from the dead. Did you know that? Obviously, know that. It beats disease. It heals. It delivers. And I've seen it. I remember loving the baby so much that baby like he didn't make it. I went on and just loved on it, and it started living. Not for nothing, the love of God says that we could declare healing and deliverance. And when I tell you, I've seen it from my own eyes. Bring somebody you weren't supposed to walk from the stroke to walking, and I'm gonna still keep on loving and being faithful. If that's the power that God give me of loving somebody and being faithful, is to rebuke disease, to death, to rebuke anything of the devil, I'm with it. And that's what love does. I'm speaking from experience. I'm almost in tears over here.
Girl, I know. Like I said from experience too, because before you call, I was just talking about, love, it does cover a whole multitude of sins. Love saves us. But think about the times when when we don't want to love somebody, when somebody then did something to us, but showing that love, it just gives you so much joy. It's like a rejuvenation. It takes away, you see people in a different way. So, oh, yes.
Yes, I'm just
Yeah.
congratulations. It's funny that you talk about loving somebody that you might not want to do. But you know how many of us, even if it's an extra couldn't stand, leave here. It didn't matter no more. Oh, I wish I can get over being mad at a person because they are not here.
Oh,
You don't
girl.
think about that. Take it
No.
for granted. But I remember when the Lord faced me with that challenge. Now I know you did wrong now, but you ain't done no right thing either. But
Right.
I promise you, to be faithful. And you just love. It's gonna work. So I had to try it. Sometimes I did feel like it was against my will. But when I tell you, I see the miracle of him walking, of him talking, of him thinking. It overrides anything I was ever mad at. Lord, I mean, you said you're gonna take my ashes and put you in it. He can have it all. But to see the miracle right now, it's worth it. It's just
It's
to see the miracle of God's word, knowing that it's my faithfulness that's moving it, that's lifting, that's repairing and healing. Everything you need is a vessel. I tell you, man, that part right there is what makes me want to go preach the gospel no matter what I do. I'm going to be faithful to God's word and I'm going to believe in every power that He has. If the root
amen.
of that is love, man, you got to let it move you. And you'd be surprised at the yokes and the generational curses that it breaks. And it's awesome. I love them.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Just think about what you said. Loving one another, and then they're gone, and then I wish I had. I wish I would have loved them more. You know, we just have to love, and we have to demonstrate that. Like you said, a vessel. If I have to be that vessel, then yes, I will. I will. Because I want others to know. Love, love. Because that's what God was all about. I mean, period. Everything He did in the Bible was because He loved us. Even when we thought He was hurting us, He loved us. When people hurt Him, He loved them. Um, and He demonstrated that to us. And that's what, yes. I actually experienced that with an uncle of mine, passed away, and some things went on, and I know how that feels. And now that he's gone, I have to try to keep up with, I'm sorry, I apologize. Plenty of times I put myself through guilt, so I just want to be that vessel. Yes. Hello.
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, girl, yeah, but yeah, you stumped me somewhere there. Just thinking about that, and I just love it. And I said love today because think about everything that the world is going through too. Um, and I think it's more so pushing us to love one another, and others that we come encounter with.
Absolutely, it is. And you know what else? This is a choice. Corona, I think, was a choice. You're right. No matter what we was doing, no matter what we had going on, anger or whatever, we had a choice to stop what we was doing and love each other and help each other and get in the house and what we need to do. And we were faced
Yeah.
with what we created. You know what I mean? And then it put us in a situation. Either we gonna love or not. Corona was wiping everybody out, so we had no choice but to love. Oh Lord, people not that bad. Oh Lord, the teacher's not that bad. Oh Lord, everything's not that bad no more because people were getting taken out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got to take it to another level. God, and we love when people start leaving here. Why do we feel a kind of way? Why aren't we God's first? I think sometimes we forget about that. We're God's first. So if He feel like He wants us to come in the house, and that's selfish. Like who are we to tell God? Oh well, I love my child. I'm gonna bring him home with me. Who are we to cry and pout and all of these things? Because ultimately He is control. Would we be mad for the murderer being in heaven, or when we have our child and our child is the murderer? That's the only time we can accept the murderer in heaven. See, this love thing runs deep, especially from a God's eye point of view. And sometimes we don't want to face the standard, or we don't want to see the consequences, or have empathy until it's our child that's the murderer, our child that's the liar, our child that's the so-called sinner. So, this love thing, it runs deep. But I tell you what, if people were based, or this world was based on people and not God, a lot of us wouldn't make it because sometimes we cannot love no matter what. But when I tell you, I understand Jesus died and loved us no matter what. It was for us to have the same power that if you love that child no matter what, chains break. If you love that husband or wife no matter what, hidden doors open. Miraculous and supernatural things happen under the covenant of God. And the main thing is love, man. And it's just amazing. So for those of us that are following on with the word and hold on to that word no matter what's going on, even if you're in jail, the supernatural power of God will break them chains and let you out of prison, man. And that's where we got to stay focused on the devil. He got to keep us focused because he already, and we love each other no matter what. That will lead to unity, and unity could lead to the end of his destruction.
Amen. Well, girl, I thank you. I appreciate you calling in, honey. We have another caller, but I just want to tell you, I love you, sister. I appreciate you. You stay
Love
blessed.
you
And
too.
yes, I love you. Have a wonderful Tuesday, okay?
You too.
Let's see. That's Toya. I love her, Toya. I think let's see, have another caller.
Yes, you do.
How are you doing? Who am I speaking with?
This is Rico Jackson from Anderson, Alabama. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
What
Nice.
up, Rico?
I can't complain. I hear your topic and your conversation. I like the conversation and the topic that you're coming with today. I had a comment about it. you were saying that we were in need of love, and that is a big statement to make. It is a true statement. We are in need of love, and it's sort of hard to understand why is it that we're lacking love. For us to get to where we are today, it had to take love. It took love for us to be here. It took love from our ancestors for them to fight and sacrifice for us to be here. But now we're still in a lack of love, a lack of households staying together. And I'm wondering, is it a possibility that we're seeing a lack of love because we're so simplified and so used to convenience now that everybody thinks love is only one thing, and it either has to be romantic or it has to be for family. It has to be affectionate. They don't understand that there's so many different levels and different types of love. So
Yes,
it's either if you are saying that you love somebody, like right now, it's hard for two brothers or two men to say they love each
I
other.
love you. Yes, yes,
You know, but if you said there's a simple-minded, immature mindset that'll come along with that. But then after a certain amount of growth, or maybe when you get into a certain level of people that you deal with, there's no problem with saying that because you do understand the different levels of love, agape and eros love, the filial love. And so I think it would be a lot more love instituted or maybe reciprocated amongst people if they understood that just because you say you love somebody, it doesn't mean it has to be romantic. There's nothing wrong with having platonic love.
yes. There is a book called, I think it's five languages of love. Because I think I was saying that there is different areas of love. Basically, there's different ways to love, um, and if people understand that, they the world would be a lot more lovable. um, because like you said, brothers, you have brothers, it seems awkward for them to say I love you. um Even nowadays, back in the day, it was normal for a mother and a daughter, I love you. Just it's a lot going on now to where people have gotten selfish. um People has gotten selfish, within themselves, and they don't want to love. And I always speak on, if sometimes if we can get a little selflessness, then that would be that would be good. Not saying that you have to take any love away from yourself, but it helps you to understand loving someone else too, because you already know you love yourself. How are you going to love someone else? So
Right. Sacrifice a little bit of sacrifice a little bit
basically,
of of love for others.
yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes, basically sacrifice. You making a sacrifice. Because think about it, I'm saying selfless, if because people is selfish when they don't love others, right? That's what it's called, right? The world is like you're selfish. You're selfish because you don't love me. So when I say selfless, people is like, well, then that's taken away from myself. No, you're not, but you're making a sacrifice. So yes, you're correct.
Right. Right. And there's a lot of joy and happiness in true love. A lot of, genuineness and sincerity in true love. And so, therefore I think like I said, now it's so easy for people to say things and they not mean what they say. It's just words. It's easy for somebody to say they love you but not really mean it. Some people don't know what love is, but they'll use that word just to get what they want.
Hmm.
And on top of it, the person that's hearing "I love you," they're hearing it because they need or they want to hear it, but they're not digging in between the lines to understanding, well, what is really love? Because just because somebody tell you they love you, you can tell if they do or don't by the way they treat you, by the way
Yeah.
they act. You know, So I mean, therefore, you like I said, you have to understand what love is, and at the same time have enough self esteem about yourself to not want to be loved. So you misunderstand what love is because some people can want to be loved so bad that they're being mistreated, but they feel like as long as they got somebody, they must love them.
Right.
They don't even understand what it is. Like I said, they only see the attraction and the sexual side of it. Somebody could be sleeping with you, laying in the bed with you, but not love
It,
you.
not
You
love
just
you.
fulfilling not an emotion, but a physical need.
Yeah. That's selfish. Toya, you on still on, sister? Toya.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey girl, I just wanted to make sure you were still on. You can chime in with us, because he's hitting some good, saying some good stuff too.
I know.
Um,
Let me tell you, I love Rico. I know. I'm just listening, sis. I kind of go in and out over here with this service, but yes, I'm here with you, boo. Michelle,
okay,
or I go first.
okay, girl. But like you were saying though, people do have to understand, but that's the way selfishness comes in. That though, people just I don't know, or self-centered. I don't know. When you do that, when you encounter that type of love, or that's not even love, we do have to know the difference between love, because we can catch ourselves in situations, and we can be feeding the enemy just what he wants, and we don't recognize, because like I was saying when I first started, um yeah, you got the good side of love. You have all the good parts of love, but if you don't understand it, go deep into it, then you're not going to be able to catch when it's love coming in the form of lust. um you know so yeah, that's
And then think about the trust end of it. Say you are that person in a relationship, and you are not only in the type of love because you're married to them and planning a family, but it's the sexual thing that comes in with that. How hard is it to discern or to be able to have leeway with that spouse that is a very platonic loving person? I mean, he's just everybody's favorite, or she's just everybody's favorite. Everybody has a problem. They love to call on them. Whenever they need uplifting or they need a shoulder to lean on, they call on your spouse. It might be a preacher. They may not be a preacher. They might just be a local Joe, but just a good-hearted person,
just a
a
good-hearted person.
good-hearted, loving person. How hard is it to, be able to draw the line on, okay, I got to share my spouse with these other people that love them because they're fantastic. And then at the same time, protecting the love that I have that's a little different than the rest of them.
Ooh,
That's a question.
that is a question. um that's crazy, because I how can I say it? Because I don't think I have all the answers, but oh, that's a sticky one, because I actually know someone that's in that situation. But then I can kind of look at my life. I remember, um, it is a line that has to be drawn. But I do feel like the person that's in those shoes. I feel like as long as it's coming from the heart and God is leading you, um, and you stick closer to him than anything, and I know this may sound so sweet and simple, but it is the truth, and you stick so close to him, God will cover, he will guide you to be able to, because that's your role. That's your role. You're that kind-hearted person. Whether you're a lawyer, a psychiatrist, or like you say, you're just a local joker in the neighborhood, right? That's your role. It doesn't matter what your position is at the time. That's your role. And if it's coming from a good place, and you're seeking with God, God knows how to make you be able to do all of that. And if you got a spouse and it's by the will of him, share that as well too. Um, my answer is going to always be prayer and seek God for any problem that comes along, you know, when it gets hard, because I know people go through that. Like I said, I know someone like that, and I was like that at one point in time, but I had to be careful because, you know, I felt like me taking away from, whether it was a spouse or just my children, by being there for others, you have to sometimes, you know, just be mindful, because people can drain from you to where you can't maintain your own sanity. You know, it's just really, that's all tricky there. But yeah.
Well, you definitely gave a good response. That was a good response to that, because I didn't even look at it through those eyes. Or, well, now I put it this way: you could express it better than I could. If I had to express to somebody how, you know, how to go about handling that situation. But yeah, that was a definitely good response that you gave to that, because that's a problem that a lot of people go through. I don't know if you know about Derrick Jackson and his wife, but you know, had he not been caught up in any kind of scandal, that still was a tough relationship, being in the background, him being so well known and so many different women leaning on him for his advice
Right.
on making them strong relationship advice. You know, she pretty much had to share him, but she left herself vulnerable. He took advantage of it, you know, and started meeting people for his own agenda and own ulterior motives. So I mean, you know, that goes to show you too, it's a lot of trust involved with that true love. It has to be a lot of trust and, like I said, sincerity,
Yeah.
because man, she really put herself in a situation to be vulnerable for him to take advantage of anything he wanted to do, just because he was a public figure that everybody loved now. You know, so now the men didn't love him. I ain't gonna say everybody. The men did not love Derrick Jackson,
Of course, they.
but the
Of,
women did.
yeah.
You know, and his wife, you know, poor sweet woman that she seems to be, you know, she got blindsided by that trust, that trusting in the person that she was supposed to love, and she actually was, I think, heavy into church. You know, I think, she had a serious walk with God before she got back with him. Am I right?
I know. I don't know, but I can believe it. I'm listening. Um, I'm gonna
I
look into
think she
this.
did. And, you know, that was
I thought,
a tough situation to get back in. You know, you give this man another chance to get back with him, and then still share him with the public because he's so influential, and leave yourself vulnerable. But I mean, you know, that's what comes with love and trust. I guess part of the that's part of the I don't want to call it consequence, but that's part of the risk that you take.
Yes. Now I was thinking that when you said that in the beginning, that was one thing came to mind. You know, when she met him, of course, or if you meet somebody like that, but when she met him, she had to have known he was that, you know, type of person, because, you know, for me, I always tell people, you want to sometime kind of ask for a little glimpse of what could be ahead if I, you know, stay in the situation, you know, be thankful if he opened all of that up on the table to have first. She had to have known, and probably, you know, because of the love, and she loved him and knew, because if he was that type of person, that means he was a good person. So of course I can see her loving him with all her heart, and then things happen, you know. um because in a situation like that, for him, imagine, he had to have gotten weak, you know, because he's giving. That's why I said we
Right.
have to be. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, dear.
Oh, I was agreeing. I was agreeing
Oh
with you.
yeah, you know, we're giving so much to where we forget about ourselves, because this is what happened, and this is where she probably came in and understood, right? You know, of course some things probably happened, and she was like, I gotta go, and that probably taught him a lesson, like, okay, I need to get my mind together, you know, I love you, but you have lost course, you have lost track, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You know, I took this role because I understood what you was doing, and I love who you are. But then when you lose track, you know, she probably had to protect herself. By protecting herself, she was helping him too, because we don't get a lot of things until we are alone. Until
Hmm.
things that we really love is taken from us, those are the times that we catch grips of things. So he probably he got weak. He's giving. He's doing all the giving, and he must have somewhere along the way forgot to give to himself first. You got to give his time, and things like that happen. And that's why I say we just have to be careful, man. And if if you know him, go to him about anything you're dealing with. I don't care what it is. Even in a relationship, we talk about love because it's different forms of love, but right now we talk about relationship. In a mix of intimacy, I believe in going to God about anything. Okay. I think I shared a silly, joke. I had a grandma. She would not eat a banana before she spoke to God. Is this okay? I tell people you're in a relationship. Why? Because you can pray to God while talking to someone. Just think about it, So since we're talking about love, is different forms, and just seeing that, I'm thankful that the story came out good because you guys said that she went back to him. That's the grace of God. God, he got forgiven. He was understood. That's that grace and that mercy. But that's what can happen. That's examples. Yeah.
You gave me a good fit.
I'm sorry. What was that?
This is my question, like, right, with women. And you should ask God. Don't we have sex before we get married? So now, let me tell you how I see it. If a man comes to me, you could be Christian or not. Everybody know what the Lord said. If you come to me trying to have sex with me before you get married, you already ain't going with.
What was that last part, Toya?
And then when I break in with you, why would expect faithful? So I shouldn't, if you didn't wait, you were married to have sex with, and that's what God said. Why would I think you will be faithful to me? What warrants do you have to weigh that you're not going to be the same thing with somebody? I said, oh no, I want to know about that third, Lord, before I get married. I want to get that third. So when God, why would I think differently? You already wasn't following what the Lord said. So now, could I give you some? I'm supposed to think all of a sudden you're supposed to follow what the Lord said? We don't think about these things as humans.
No.
The first violation now. That's why men can't have none. When they say, hey, how you doing? What's your name? I say, Needy.
You say what, Toya?
I need you to work. Yeah, my name Needy. And if you don't feel like you want to give me nothing, I understand. But you can't have none of me. But that'd be my first thing. If you already just coming trying to get in my pants, there's nothing else you're going to do according to what you're going to do to follow the word of the Lord. That's one thing. Oh, that's the only thing you do wrong is have sex. But I think that you're supposed to be faithful with somebody else. No, I'll probably put ourselves in a situation. And we don't want to go back to the part of the Bible that when we start fornicating, it causes other things to happen. There are traits that women take. So when we do this with married, why before you have sex with them? We're doing it, but we want to go and change the game because we humans. We got dominion. I can give him sex if I want to before we get married. Ain't nothing gonna happen. And then when he cheats in the marriage, he already dropped his own covenant with the Lord. He dropped his own covenant with the Lord. See, we don't believe in it. But when we get into the situation, we wonder why it brings problems. But we got to go to the beginning. That's why I'm going to scare you before you date me. I'm needy. I want money. I'm a bad girlfriend because I don't have sex. You need to know all that up front. And if you don't want to deal with it, I understand. Because my God is the one that provides, and I don't have to have sex with him. So when you can top what the Lord can do for me, then that means I need to be your wife. But you can't contact. So that means you need to go on ahead and already be one with the Lord. And when it's time for you to marry me, He's gonna tell you, He's gonna tell me too, and we're gonna be facing other problems in life. Not you cheating. I already
Exactly.
know you cheated because you cheated on the Lord. You know what I mean? So some
Yeah.
of these things we really got to analyze, like when and how we need to ask the Lord, and we need to be doing what He say do.
I think I told someone that yesterday we was talking. You know, we do have to be careful about what we ask God. We have to go in the scripture because when I pray, y'all, I go from this angle to that angle to this. Like I actually come to God and I go with every option. Okay, if it this, if it's not supposed to, and that's how we have to do with Him. Even down with relationships because you were talking about Um, as being a woman. I mean, there is men out there too that feel the same way. They just want a wife and they're okay. Because I can't just say that it's just the men that's hot. We have some hot women out here too. So my thing is to that, when it comes to meeting someone and people wants to, get in bed before marriage, because I believe what the word says, because when you get in bed, God gave that to us as a bonus. He gave that to us
We,
as a bonus.
we're calling guys gay though. We're
Huh?
calling them gay if they told us that they wanted to wait till marriage. We'll talk about them like a dog.
That'll be fine. He ain't care. They already caught them stuff anyway. He don't care. He's standing for something, and when you want to stand for something, you stand for it. You have no time to be caught up in the world and what the world is doing if that's not what you're standing for. Whatever we stand for, we have to stand on it. We have to stand strong. Um, and I'm never going to, out in the world, I'm all about giving encouragement to everyone. And then they want to know where it comes from. It comes from Him. But what I want to do is I'm gonna do like He did. Like He does. Think about what God does us. He give us options. He let us know you can choose this or you can choose that. Right? You can choose this or you can choose that, and He lets us make that decision. I'm gonna tell you what's right, but you can choose, and that's the great thing about being in this world. We don't have to worry about what nobody else don't want to do. That we got to learn who we are, love who we are, and we got to stand on that. And just because this person is not with it, then okay, on to the next. And we have to be honest. We have to be straightforward. To avoid these situations. I know I tell people, they always say, T, you make it sound so easy. I know I do, but if number one, whatever, it's all about loving you. Number one, loving God first. Love whatever you know that He has for you. You stand on it, and whatever is for you, long as it's good and it's true to Him, He is going to give it to you. I don't care how long it takes, because it's that faith. And sometimes we think He don't give us what we want when we want it, but He's always right on time. So you stand firm with that. Would you say needy when they ask you what's your name? Toya.
I think that was Toya.
Yeah, yeah. I was just saying, I'm applauding her on that. Stay firm in what you believe. And yes, ma'am.
Well, if you don't mind me saying something, I think I think it's real important for us to understand that love is healthy too.
It's
If it
what?
isn't healthy, then it isn't love. Love is supposed to be good. It's supposed to feel good. And so, if it isn't healthy, we may confuse that. You see a lot of relationships, they're very unhealthy. They call it toxic love.
Right.
Some call it obsessive love. I call it being codependent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really codependent, obsessive, infatuation. Some people confuse that because, like I was saying earlier, they confuse. They don't really know what love is. So that's toxic love. If they consider that love, that is toxic love. But I think they should understand that, love shouldn't hurt.
Never.
So now you hear some people say love hurts. No,
You
love
can
doesn't hurt.
endure. You can
It's a little
endure.
struggle.
You can endure some things, but love doesn't hurt at all.
Right, right. It should be a little struggle. It should be some effort made. But when it's all respect and everybody had the same goal and same agenda, then it shouldn't hurt. Like I said, it should be completely healthy. It should be genuine. So we see these relationships
Yeah,
where
it's
people
not my
think
daddy though.
it. you see these relationships where people think they are in love, but it's completely toxic. It's completely dysfunctional. And then they're passing it on to the children, and the children see it and they think, okay, that's what love is. Seeing my
Right.
parents scream, yell left and right every day, arguing about
Not knowing how to
why he hit
converse.
me. That ain't love.
Mm,
He don't love you if he don't hit you. So what you gonna do? What you ought to do is go home, give him some attitude, act sassy, get your phone number out, have other people call and see what kind of response you get. And if he don't say nothing, he don't care. No,
mm,
what I mean, so people
Yep.
people have confused what love is, and then they go jump in and out of relationship after they run those little tests. They run those little tests to see if he love you. He don't hit you, so I'm leaving you. I won't cheat on you because you didn't respond the way I wanted to. Then you in another relationship,
right.
codependent,
Right.
infatuated once again, just moving quickly, thinking and telling people I done met me a new love, like love interest. I got me a new man. I got me a new woman. And so it's really sort of obvious to me that it's a lot of confusion about what love really is. People are confusing infatuation and obsession with love. They're confusing codependency with love, neediness. And until they get that right and understand that it has to be healthy for it to actually be love, good love, or for it to work. I'll put it to you that way. It might be unhealthy to a certain extent, but for love to work and be successful, it has to be healthy. It has to feel good.
Yeah. And I did say, you can always remember love. You're going to endure some things. I tell people that because they get it confused with pain and hurt and all of that. When I say you're going to endure some things, I mean, we endure things, with God. He give us tests. We go through tests, temptation and stuff like that. That doesn't, it's all about it being healthy because when you make the right choices, it becomes healthy. So, I'm in relationships, like you say, people just have to understand, um, they just have to understand all around the board, what's love and what's not. And I think about insanity as we was talking about this, keep running back to the same situations. Or even if we get out of something that's bad, instead of processing it, we jump to something else. And I always tell people, look, if you get out of a relationship that you say was bad and you don't give it time to process it, if the relation was so bad, you probably would have been better off staying in a relationship working it out. Because by you leaving and you're not processing it and moving on to something else, you're actually only damaging yourself even more. And then it's worse because you're
Mhm.
adding someone else. You're damaging someone else. Um. So yeah.
You said it all, man. You're right. Because when you meet someone else, you still got some of the trauma and anger built in from the relationship you just got out of 2 weeks ago. And
Right.
the one you got out of 5 months before that. And you really have to ask yourself, okay, you saying you love this new person already, but you were just with somebody 7 months ago. And y'all just broke up 2 weeks ago. How is it that you fixing to bring your children around? This y'all new stepdaddy? Hey, this y'all new stepmama?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
my lady. And I
Yeah.
see it. I mean, I got a I got a friend, man. I mean, uh, I don't know. Sometimes maybe it's not love. Maybe it's just the image of feeling valued. I don't want to be single long. If I'm single too long, then I might look like I'm damaged. I might look like I'm not fit to be relationship material. So I got to find somebody quick because I don't like being single. Single makes me look like I'm unwanted.
Right. Or something's wrong with me. You know. Yeah.
And the minute a person makes you feel better and realize that you are, that initial interest starts feeling like love. You get all caught up in puppy love, that little puppy love we used to have when we were young.
Yeah.
Some people don't grow out of that anxiousness and the excitement of a new person that you're getting to know, somebody new to do and experience new things with. And before you know it, that joy makes you think, I think I love you.
Right.
I think I'm in love. Well, this is like the 12th time.
Right. And I tell people, man, man, relationships, marriage, any relationship, really, of course we talk about, between the man and the woman, but it is, that puppy love stuff. It comes in the beginning, and of course you can have that love, the rest of your life, especially if it's with the right person, because love feels good. Remember, we always said that love feels good, right? But when the obstacles come in, sometimes it's going to be a little drainage, and if people understand that when that time comes, because I ain't gonna say I've messed up relationships too, thinking, oh, because the puppy love is gone, or oh, it's not right, let me move to someone else, so I always remember, as I did something of such, I mean, let's think about it. Things come, right? How strong are you going to be? Um, how strong are you going to be? How steadfast are you going to be? Because it's almost like giving up. Sometimes we damage ourselves when we give up. And mind you, if it's bad, you need to go. You need to run. But to use that on puppy love, people got to understand. Sometimes things happen, but it's all about being there for the person. Being there for the person if it's right.
Right. So it might get to the point where that person you love, they can't take you on trips around the world no more, but you got to change their pamper.
Yeah.
Are you gonna love them to the point to where you gotta feed them like a baby?
Yeah.
You gotta wait on them hand and foot and wheel them around and bathe them because they have started, their health has been going downhill. Maybe they got struck with life here.
Right.
Nobody guaranteed to have a perfect life for the next 50 years and then,
You're not. Yeah.
just leave it in a good shape. You might have to take care of somebody for 15 years. You
Just
might
out
get
the blue.
cancer or something. I mean, so many different things that can happen in life. Is that person that you think you love really gonna truly love you then?
Or they're gonna run. They're gonna. I
They
can't.
might reach up.
Go ahead, Toya.
Nah, I was telling him say that, man. That was
Yeah.
a revelation the Lord just brought to me. Like you say you love somebody. Well, do you love him now? He had a I know he
Yeah.
said he didn't have to now what I'm doing. What I did do what I told you to do. And you know what, not for nothing. Every time I do what God says, I think about I need somebody to do this for my family. What's on in the supernatural world? When you make sacrifices, when you do what the Lord asks, I need somebody to be true for my nephews. I wish somebody would have been true for my dad. I need somebody to be true for my generation to come. So if the generation of my family lies on this test that God is giving me right now, then I'm with it. And not for nothing. It can be a test of my faith because I know who God is. So now here the devil comes. I can't get her no other way. Let me attack her spouse. I rebuke
Yeah.
you in the name of Jesus too. And I got to tell my it's a trick of the devil now because the Lord told me to show me whole, and He said that you're gonna make this right, and that's what I'm standing on firm. So let's get these out of this. Let's go ahead and walk around the block. Let's go ahead. And sometimes I do these things because He didn't do it. I don't feel like He would have did it to me. But that ain't got nothing to do with the Lord told me, honey. And even if it don't come in the form of money, this generation of Christ Almighty is to love like you love us, Lord. As much as you done spared me, let's get it and let's go. And that's where I'm at, man. And I like this is just for us. We need to love each other no matter what. We
Yeah.
need to be united no matter what. So that way the chains that America has on us, the prison that America has us in, can be broken because we are doing what God says, and the sacrifice is what's going to make us be true and receive God's promises, man. So we can hear something then.
Yes. And that's why, man, that's why I want to talk about love. We're going in a lot of different areas, but we have to understand that's what people think love is all peaches and cream. Love is supposed to feel good now, but Love also takes turns. You know, it takes turns to show, do we really love? Um, um, and sometimes we pass some tests and sometimes we don't. You know, I want to make sure I pass them. You know, because when you get to using the word love, then you get to orchestrate your life in a way that I know I have people around me that love me and I love them. So if something was to happen, um, I'm going to love. I'm going to be there because, like we said earlier, like sometimes you can meet someone. We're gonna talk about family and stick on relationships. Sometimes you can meet someone and you just don't see. You just see y'all life going in a whole different way. Then something tragic happens. I thought you loved them, but people mostly are going to run. They're going to run. They're not going to stick. And don't even understand by loving. That's where you get your blessing and your strength at, man. So I'm glad I picked this topic today about love. Um, we got to cut out lust and all the extra stuff. That manipulating type of love, you know. Let's love is supposed to feel good.
Yes, it is. Sis, look, great topic, man. Great topic. And when it comes to love, man, that's why we got to seek the Lord because now you got to figure out what you're going to use your love for. You know, we could use our love for bad and know that people are doing anything and abuse them, or we can use our love for good and use that power to save, deliver, and heal. And so, you know, I think it's time that we reflect on how we want to use our power of love. That was one of Luther Vandross's great power of love. It goes either way. You can do it to manipulate somebody, or you can do it to really show God's grace, man. But sis, let me tell you something. Thank you so much, man. Just another warrior on the front line trying to get their version of what God got going on. I appreciate you so much. Love you. Anytime you're on, I'm going to try to call and support.
I love you too. I love you too. So you have a good day, girl. Blessed day.
Yeah.
I will, dear. I will.
And I want to thank you for having me on too. I want to wish you great luck from here on out in the near future for this show that you got going on. This is an awesome topic that you had, and I look forward to catching you from here on.
I appreciate it. You too. You enjoy your day, and I thank you. Um, and yes, sir. I look forward to hearing from you some more too. Good stuff. We'll talk about some good stuff today, man. Yeah. So yeah, everybody, we talked about a lot of stuff there, but the key thing is love, right? LOVE. Love one another. And if you get lost and don't know what love is, remember this. Love is not supposed to hurt. Love is always supposed to feel good. Even if you catch yourself in a situation to where you have to serve or service somebody, remember that itself is love as well. God is love. Um, let's pass love down to our children. In the Bible, it says the old shall teach the young. And nowadays, man, these kids don't really know much about love because they're not being taught what love is, you know. And let's just always stay in prayer. I'm never going to get on here and not tell you guys how powerful prayer is. Even in the mix of chaos, because that's when we all want to pray when we going through something, right? When we all going through chaotic, when our life has turned upside down. Oh, now we love God. We need God. We love God now. We need him. We need him, right? But then as soon as he fix our situation and what we was just praying and crying for, we forget about him. Now we don't love him as much. Because I ain't gonna say that someone don't love him, but now you don't love him as much. Oh, you don't need him. But that's our healer. That's why strength is going to come in at. The way that he loves us, we are to demonstrate that back, right? whether it's a friend, a relationship, a co-worker, a stranger, a neighbor, your children. Let's love. That's what he did. That's what God did. I mean, he got ridiculed and everything, and he did what he did because he loved us, right? And that's why I wanted to talk about love today. So I think if he went and died on that cross for us because he loved us, then we need to get out here and demonstrate love the right way, to people. Let's give love, you guys. Man, love will save us from so much. I don't know. Have y'all ever? I done been somewhere and ran it real quick because we got about 4 minutes left. I done been in a situation, just something simple. I'm gonna use going to a gas station or going somewhere to get my food, and the people that I can come in contact with, they got a whole attitude. They upset. And the first thing we want to do is, I'm giving you my money. You're supposed to be doing your job and you got an attitude. Sometimes we say find a better job. That's nasty. That's not of love, right? And then I get to thinking, because I have done this before in the past, but you can't pay me to do it now. You just can't. I will be quiet if I feel like I got to, because I've been a big person to want to get people back. I think we shared this in the beginning, but now it's like, and I have to seek him. Like, is this right, God? I want to be mad. I want to be angry with this person. Well, you don't know what that person could be going through. So let's always remember, if I just love this person here because I have done it, I give a smile. I ask them how are they doing. I show joy, happiness. I show concern for them because now I'm upset because I don't want a soul like this to be, upset. I want them to feel what love is. Love conquers all, right? So by me loving on someone else, it makes me feel good as well. Let's think about that too. We think sometimes when I said be selfless, no. Be selfless when it comes to a time when you got a choice to make to do good or evil, good or bad. Be selfless then, because that selflessness is going to give you something that you desire. It's going to give you some more joy. It's going to give you some more peace. It's going to give you more strength. So there's a book called Five. I wish I would have brought. I have in the living room. I'm not going to be rude, but there's a book it's called Five, the Five Love Languages, and I don't know if anybody's read it. I can't think of the author right now, but it's really plain, Five Love Languages. I really would enjoy if anyone, all of you guys pick it up and read it, because that book there gives us the 5 different languages of love. Because people think, when you think about love, they think about a relationship. They think about a marriage between a guy and a guy and a woman. But it's more to it. We have families out here that leave out the house and they're not saying I love you. It doesn't hurt to pick up the phone and just tell someone, hey, I just called to say I love you. Hey, are you busy? That's fine. I just called to tell you I love you. This is anybody, your kids. Let's love on our older people, like, grandmas and stuff, because sometimes we forget about people like that in our lives too. We just get so focused that we forget to love certain people. But I'm going to say this. We have 1 minute left. I'm going to say this one thing. I said all of that. But also remember, okay, by going to God, you're loving yourself. You have to love yourself first before you can love anybody else. People think that's selfish. It's not selfish, because you're going to God. First of all, they both start with an L. The second letter is an O. I think it's coincide. Love yourself. Sync love with God, and you'll be able to love. Okay? You'll be able to love. I love you guys. This is a great topic. We discussed some great things. Oh, we have a caller coming on. Oh, I have about 40 seconds. Hello? Hello? Okay. All right. So I love you guys. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Tea Talks. Everyone have a blessed week. And remember, love one another, okay? Let's see, that was great. That was great.
in the